Sorry, buddy. The last skin boat to Tuna Town already left today.
What's about to be shown and explained is when desperation meets ignominy. A character that one I noticed involved himself with Trevor out of him declining with his upscale real estate business. The character being Josh Bernstein. Bernstein is going to reveal how things went wrong, something of course that will be telling, but before that, like a lot of people in LS, you get in where you fit in. Josh was someone at the top. Real estate being his thing though, his business being on the decline too. Of course, he's about to try and do everything to get out of this situation. But here, we're about to see his mind being warped and his life at a stop, going to try to sell his own house.
Hey!
Hey, nice house, isn't it?
Trevor being a stranger, he lured him with his house knowing the answer, starting the conversation that looked unlikely he was even going through something. With this conversation starter, one of the only things he had left before learning this didn't move Trevor. Desperation even was shown for the fact alone that of all people, he looked at Trevor to be a potential buyer. Normally it'll be a don't judge looking at a cover, but it was clear what Trevor walked around like.
It's nice to see you and all, but you stink like piss, you got blood under your nails, and you look like you've been up for what, a week?
Scooch up, homie.
Yeah, scooch over here.
Scooching in that crazy dude? Oh, hell no, that nigga stank.
But still doing this was still telling, not going to mess out with the people walking by to get back on track.
I guess.
Yeah, beautiful. You like it? I'm selling it. You want to buy it?
I'm downsizing.
He's about to reveal why he's downsizing, but with this he goes on a tangent, speaking on what he felt he did in his business. This alone showed he didn't accept his fall, but with this he then cuts to the chase, ready to give up the only thing, or one of the only things he had left with value.
No, I'm good.
I used to sell houses like this all the time, okay? I sold dreams. I made lives meaningful.
I'm not sure about that.
How much you like? You like beautiful things, though, don't you?
Sure.
Well, I just happen to know the most beautiful woman.
You want a bouncy. Josh Bernstein.
Being at a low point, he would then try to come off as what he once was, although it wouldn't work. But with this, he'd be a step closer to finding out his problem, which is of course still telling.
Yeah, I'm the Josh Bernstein.
Yeah, I never heard of you.
Oh, well, I used to be a big deal once in real estate, and so I had my license taken away. My meal ticket.
Having his real estate license taken away was something that happened on his own. Saying that to say he could really only blame himself, but with the time not being able to sell properties, of course someone stepped up in his absence. Already having Trevor's attention though, he would then reveal more telling things, even about to say how what he wanted wasn't about money, although it was everything for him.
Where's the chick?
I'll get to that. See, it's not really money that I'm after here. It's a little something more awkward than that. Now,
Lenny Avery.
He was my best friend, and now he has taken all of my clients. All of them.
Having to see Lenny Avery rise up, while he couldn't say the same about himself, at this point was one of the things that made him desperate and panicky. Lenny became a person within real estate that was honored, but Bernstein being ahead at a time made him insecure when the role reversed. He even bleated about Avery going to say how he was backstabbed, but with this alone will be why he's on his case in exchange of these at this point.
Do you think that you could take out all of his for sale signs?
That was easy.
She's worth it, man. I love you. Lenny Avery.
Josh having time on his hands, Trevor taking out these signs for him will help his mind state. But with this, Josh still had more things he wanted to do to make himself feel better with how things were going. He had Trevor meet him, holding up his end of the bargain, but with this, it's going to show us something. The first thing will be where he's actually at, which was a motel in the hood, showing his new low he was hit with. But the next thing will actually show him having regret in what he's doing, when the realization of what he had to do on his end kicked in.
Blame the credit bubble.
These words alone showed him having shame. He even was heard coping with himself that he was doing the right thing, even trying to detach from the situation.
It is not your fault. Pull yourself together.
It's just business.
She will be fine. Blank it out. It means nothing. It's the only way.
But of course, seeing Trevor, he pissed his face back on, having to give him what he promised.
There you are. Tony, wasn't it?
Here I am.
You taught that bastard.
Yeah, maybe.
All right. Well, you earned it. Room 9. She's right up there. Go for it, man. She's... well, you just knock yourself out, okay?
No, she's a firecracker. You won't regret it. I don't think we needed to drag this out, do we?
While Trevor was having a time, he was forced to wait outside before having him do more of what he wanted. But even with that, it showed he was still in his mind of what he had to do, still trying to act like it didn't faze him, although he would be literally seen at a slump.
Hey, hope you had a good time up there. Oh, listen.
When Josh had to endure being this low, the next thing he had Trevor do was the result of that, getting his anger toward himself out, and Trevor, and of course Lenny Avery.
I don't know if you feel up for it or anything, but maybe you could go give Lenny a wake-up call. This is what he looks like, right here, okay? Now, I think you can find him. He'll be doing some showings over Rockford Hills today.
I'll give him more than a wake-up call.
That's it. I love you.
With that though, he even went to go and say how it was a lot he had to process, showing him feeling the way about this whole ordeal to begin with.
Oh, if you don't mind, I'd rather be alone right now. I have a lot to process. Please do something about Avery. That bastard has ruined me.
And even with that, he still was hit with things that continued to build his frustration after getting his car took to pull what he wanted off.
Well, hey, that's my car.
Yeah, I'm taking it.
Well, look after it, please. I'm late on the payments.
What a great day this is turning into all of a sudden.
On the way to confront Avery, Bernstein would then say something telling, of course, starting to show him disliking Trevor while still playing his role though.
If it isn't my favorite real estate broker.
Tony, buddy, are you in Rockford Hills yet?
Almost.
Good. I forgot to tell you. Avery drives a green Comet.
Nah, don't worry, I'll find him. And after I scare the living shit out of this guy, I get some more, bouncy, right?
But Trevor saying this would bring him back down to reality, leading him to brush off their deal. But with that, to try and make what he had Trevor do worth it, he revealed how he went out his way to call Lenny and let him know what's about to happen, going to show him wanting to have Lenny feel what he made himself feel dealing with Trevor.
Oh yeah, of course. But Tony, listen, I kind of told him that you were coming.
So much for the element of surprise.
I want him to know who's behind the pain that he's about to experience. Listen, I gotta go. Don't let me down, bud.
Facelift!
What did you call me?
Have you seen an old guy with a green Comet? Lenny Avery.
Lenny? I love Lenny. He got me a deal on a 9-bed Tudor Tuscan last year. I saw him showing the house just up the street on the left. Say hi from Rosalind.
The things I do for bouncy.
T would of course find him to when the guy even told the truth about how he did Josh, saying how it was just a business, which is telling for the fact this was Josh's lane.
Wait! I did nothing wrong! It's a cutthroat business!
Earlier he mentioned how his real estate license was taken away, showing he was shady up until things caught up with him. He was just playing victim when it happened to him. Then he even spoke on looking at Josh to be off, showing why everything he had Trevor do in exchange of desperation to be off.
How can Bernstein even afford a hitman? Bernstein's a lunatic! Don't listen to him!
But Trevor getting the point across, calling Bernstein, as we're going to see, he was ecstatic, being able to get quick pleasure hearing Lenny's pain, making it easy for him to go with what he had in his cards during his downs, while Trevor was getting what he wanted, both being happy to say the least.
Tony, how did it go?
Yeah, I went subprime on the guy for you.
I love ya. Meet me back at the motel for, well, you know what.
But instantly for Josh, the reality would hit him again, having to be left with his only valuable source at this point, realizing his moves, but still going along for his last move.
Oh, here we go again. How did it come to this? Where did it all go wrong? It was the crash, not you. Think positive. Just till the market bounces back. She understands. Don't beat yourself up.
Tony! Oh, you nailed that bastard. All right, go ahead. She's waiting for you, right upstairs, okay? Bouncy, bouncy.
All right.
Hey, Tony.
Hope you had a good time up there, huh?
With this part of the deal done, though, even going to make sure Trevor was satisfied to do his next move, him being rubbed the wrong way would happen, leading something to reveal.
Yeah, not bad. Bit skinny, but not bad.
Where you know her from? You ain't the pimp type.
No, she's my wife. I left my first wife and kids for her.
Revealing how he pimped his new wife and running out on his prior family shows many things. For one, doing that shows he was at a high hierarchy, something I take being a sign for just doing what you want to do. In his case, it was based off real estate business, not caring who gets hurt in the process doing so. And as far as what he's putting his new family through was the same thing, just with being on the downside, on top of still having to provide regardless, something showed down the line. But he would still cover up his faults, trying to make things cool as possible, but still revealing though.
Best decision I ever made. Oh, fantastic. I mean,
She's been the making of me.
Now revealing this wasn't the first time he set something like this up outside of Trevor, goes to show his grimy ways to actually to be able to get ahead at a time. But that aside, he would then get what he wanted, still being a telling move.
Whatever gets you off, man.
Listen, if you're up for it, do you remember that house on Eclipse where I was standing out in front of?
Yeah.
You remember it? Okay. Well, that's my old place, and it's in foreclosure. But, well, if something was to happen in the place, some gas gets spilled, I'd still get the full value in the insurance. I'm just saying.
Now to try to do a plain crash grab, went back to having to provide for him and his new family, still about to manipulate Trevor into making that happen.
Yeah, I understand.
I love you. I'm real glad that you fucked my wife.
Josh even brings up his daughter with his new wife, showing this move to be for them all in a way.
Go on. We have to get to our daughter's piano recital. Those lessons. Such a cost.
Just when I thought this situation couldn't get any more messed up. If I'd known she was his wife, I would... Nah. Who am I kidding?
Tony, hey, it's me, bud. Listen, there's a gas grill out by the pool. Now you light that up, and I'll be able to see the fireworks from here. Now you do this for me, and you will see just how grateful Mrs. Bernstein can really be.
Leave it to me. Just feed her up a bit, will ya? All for you, Mrs. Bernstein. Okay, that's gonna attract attention. I should probably get out of here.
But with this is when he flips the script after Trevor doing these things, helping him money-wise and getting back at Lenny.
Josh Bernstein, Realty.
I hear that property on Eclipse is hot right now.
Excellent. Let me speak to my better half about schedules, and we'll get back to you.
Whether if it was his wife getting tired of her role, mixed in with his own ego, he goes to throw Trevor under the bus. He's even seen him manipulate the law while filing a police report.
Just look at my house. He's a goddamn nut job.
Now, although he was saucing things up, how he described Trevor went to show everything he put up with him while playing the cool guy role.
Calm down, sir. If you could just give me a detailed description.
Thin, sallow, definitely an addict of some sort. He smells like he hasn't bathed in weeks. White, middle-aged.
Sir, we're gonna need a little more to go on than that.
He's a white trash lunatic. I don't know what else to tell you.
That describes half this town, Mr. Bernstein.
Well, not the half that I live in, thank God. I'm president of a real estate company.
You're set to receive a tidy insurance settlement on this property. Is that correct?
What are you insinuating?
Nothing, sir. Just trying to get all the facts straight.
Oh, facts? You want facts? Look at my home! It's ruined!
The home that's in foreclosure and you no longer live in. If there's anything else you can tell us, Mr. Bernstein.
Look, you'll have to give me a few minutes. I'm too upset to think right now.
But actually seeing him goes to show more of who he was.
Here he is right there. Tony!
Where's your wife? You owe me.
Officers, here he is. This man is insane. He destroyed my house.
Whoa! Hey! No, wait a minute. You asked me.
He's ruined my life. He's...
Now saying how Trevor ruined his life, but everything being his idea continued to show always finding someone to blame, along with just plain deceiving.
He's a stalker. He's an epsilonist. Yeah, get him.
Going to confront him though, he was heard saying how his suffrage was no longer being around Trevor, showing how he grew to fully dislike him once things got to him.
The game is up, Tony.
But of course, he would then try to sympathize, and the rest is history.
No, Tony! Holy fuck! Just calm down, Tony! Please! I had to tell them something. I was desperate. Let me make this right. I'll call up the wife right now. Don't kill me. Please, I'll give you all the bouncy you want. I didn't mean to do it. I wasn't thinking straight. Don't hold it against me. I'm hundreds of thousands of dollars in debt.
Bernstein getting control over Trevor was the same tactic he used when his real estate was booming. Him putting the blame on him was for the obvious. Being put down, he brung others down in the process. One side was him losing everything and having a new family to feed when things got desperate, but the other side of things was simply him being desperate to have. But going that way, accepting it and coping with his plans, he went through more mental pauses, so when everything got done, he could get the satisfaction of Trevor being low like he was. Now, if you ask whether to kill him or not, don't ask.